Hello everybody, this is GeneralJannis, and today in Death Card Tactics we're having a very special video. You are invited in GeneralJannis Headquarters where I can show you my Death Card collection. So with, with no further ado, let's get started and let's get this computer out of the way. By the way, this is the computer where the math hammering happens here. So let me just get this out of the way. So, as I said, here's my painted collection of Death Card. I tallied up that I have 5,700 points of painted Death Card. I have around 7,000, counting everything that I haven't painted yet. And let's say the background for my army collection is that I would like to have a big variety of units to choose from, so I can make some flexible lists and have some, let's say, a big variety of models. Let's say I'm not a painter, so for me it's more fun to make the theories and play the games and think about the list. I enjoy also painting, but I'm not like an artist. I will not show you the models in close detail. I bought quite a lot of models secondhand, already half painted or painted, and for me it's like if they look reasonably okay, I'm happy with that. So let's say I'm not trying to win the armies on parade or anything. So just a quick background of how I entered the hobby. So the first I started with the first strike box back in when the COVID struck and we were on lockdown. I just ordered it before the lockdown, and then I had something to do with the kids, just assembling the first strike. And in my first my first thoughts of Warhammer, I knew a bit about the Warhammer universe. I didn't know how the game was played in 2020, and basically I was just like, I had played Space Marines game on PlayStation or something like that. So I was just thinking, let's get some Space Marines. But then when the kids we assembled the box, of course. The kids didn't want to be the Plague Marines, the Plague Zombies, and the Plague Marines, and I had to play them. And then suddenly that became my army, of course, Death Card. And then I was completely hooked onto Death Card. So the first strike was also the first model I painted was one of the small Poxwalkers. I think it was even this guy. I mean, it's not nothing special, just a small Poxwalker, but I really liked the Plague Marines. And then, of course, at the end of the 8th, where I joined the hobby, Death Card was quite low in the rankings, and a lot of people were just selling out, or they were buying the boxes like the Normal Fear or the very good Dark Imperium, and they were selling off the Death Card halves for pennies. And I got a bunch of those, and bought also some of the new ones, and then I ended up having a lot of Contagions, a lot of Plague Marines, a lot of Poxwalkers, etc. So that I think the Dark Imperium and these box sets here, they really gave you a very good starting army. You get some good HQ, you get some good troops, you get some Bloatrones that I really like, the Bloatrone with the Spitters, and then from there on I was able to buy some collections of Death Card, and then I was of course buying some new models to complement as 9th came and new models became the norm. So let's start at the collection here. So over here we have the HQ choices, and of course I think in any collection, I think if you play Death Card, even if Mortarion is competitive or not, I think he should be part of the collection. The Nurgles Primark. Mine is painted. I didn't paint him, but mine is painted like in a bit shadowy way, kind of like him. But it's like so cool model, and he in the tournament that I played, my first tournament, that was also my goal when I started with the Corona lockdown and the first strike box. He really did his work. So really a strong model, and I think it's a good showcase also in my collection. Then other HQ choices here, the Demon Prince. Demon Prince with wings. I just got a sword to magnetize as well. I had the one with the 2 talons. So of course, maybe not so Nurgly a model, but a lot of people are using conversions. But I think the Demon Prince can be like a mini Mortarion beatstick. And then I have the Lord of Contagion from the starting boxes. I was when in the 8th, I really disliked him because he was only moving 4 inches and half advanced rolls. It was terrible. But the Lord of Contagion now is really strong. 3-inch contagions, moves 5 inches, 4+ invols, and he hits like a truck. He has the 2 profiles. So I really like him as a very flexible HQ choice. And then, of course, I also needed to get Typhus. Before I got Typhus, I tried my first conversion. I tried to take a lot of Contagion and make him a bit like Typhus. So that was quite fun to cut and make the plastic modeling. I enjoy more assembling and making some conversions rather than painting, actually. But of course, it's nothing fantastic to win a prize. But I got the real Typhus, which is also a strong thing. And in the 8th, he was my main HQ. I used him with my Poxwalkers, buffing the Poxwalkers. Now I seldom use him, but of course I would like to try some Terminus Est lists a little bit more, where Typhus I think fits very well in. But Lord of Contagion I really like him. And then the Malignant Playcaster, I think it's difficult to make a list without the Playcaster, really good HQ choice. The model, not super nice. People don't like the bubblegum. I have 3 more in different conversions and different poses. I'll just show you this guy. He's also my Crusade leader, the Wretched Playcaster. So strong, so many mortal wounds, really strong. And then I made a small conversion, the Chaos Lord, just a cheap HQ for rerolling ones for the Contemptor for 85 points. I took one of the champions from Plague Marines and I modified him. I added a chainsword and a combi bolter, etc. This is quite enjoyable and looks okay, decent. And this is the prize that I won in the tournament with Mortarion. So HQ wise, I don't have the Lord of Irelands. I think his auras are a bit meh. It's not super good, but maybe that's one of the things I could add to my list, and then it's basically a complete. You have a shelf where you can pick what you want. Then moving into the troops, the Poxwalkers, we have 3 units of 20. I tried to paint them a bit like, for example, there's a group here with a lot of yellow clothing-ish, and I made the rim in a different color. I don't know if you can see that, but I used the different groups of Poxwalkers have different colors, so it's easier to distinguish them if you play. So a red clothed group, a bit greenish group, and a yellow group. Poxwalkers, what can I say, really strong, especially now in 9th. They are screening, they have the 6+3 no pain. It's a really strong troop. When I started the hobby, I didn't like them. They were so slow and they were not hitting the Space Marines with anything. The Mortal Wound stratagem is really strong. The Terminus Est allowed them to move 7 inches is really strong. But when I started, I was also like, okay, we're playing a future game and this guy just has a knife and moves 4 inches, and on the other side you had a Tau battle shooting missiles and stuff like that. So it was like, how can these guys even compete? But now I've learned they can. And then I have a very big, I'm really fond of Plague Marines. Unfortunately now in 9th they are not so competitive. A lot of Plague Marines, I have a lot painted. I have a box with 20, 30 more not painted. The Plague Marines are really enjoyable to paint, also to find all the details. The models are really nice. So I have a lot of models with the bolters only, and then my favorite shooting weapon, maybe it's apparent from the reviews that it's the Blight Launcher. I really like the Blight Launchers. They always do some damage. I like the easy to build Plague Marines. This was my first, the Plague Marine with the Blight Launcher from the first strike box. Really strong, always killing something. And again, the easy to build Plague Marine champion. It's really cool looking model. He has the sword, he has the fist, he has the plasma gun with the tentacles in the back. You can't ask for more. So I think I have 6 or 8 with Blight Launcher, so I can make 3-4 full troops Plague Marines with double launchers if I want. I don't use the plasma so much. I have some unpainted plasmas that I don't use so much. Maybe on the champion I would like to use it. I have also some other champions with a plasma pistol and the fist, or just the blade and etc. So again, 4 or 5 champions, a different variety of Plague Marines. You can mix and match whatever you want. And then, of course, the stars of the Plague Marines with the Flail of Corruption, 4 of those, 2 of the Cleavers, really good, and a couple with maces and axes, and I have some more unpainted. As I said again, Plague Marines right now not in a very competitive spot, but I was in Crusade. I think they are doing well. With a power level, if you play power level, you just put a lot of extra weapons and a Plague Marine unit, if they can go in melee, if they can shoot, etc., with Blight Launchers, plasma pistols, plasma guns, the big axes, etc., they can really do a lot. So 50 or something of those in total, unpainted and not. That completes. I have a couple of cultists. I never use them. I'll probably shove them over to my Thousand Suns starting a secondary army. Then if we go to the elite slot, I have one of each of all the Virion. I have more than one for the Taliman and the Foul Blightspawn and the Noxious Blightbringer, etc. And the Surgeon, I have a couple extra, but normally probably you would, if you need 2, you would probably use 2 full Foul Blightspawns. The Noxious Blightbringer, so cool looking model. I was really having fun painting him with all his bells and stuff like that. I was using the Noxious Blightbringer a lot before in 8th, where he was making the Plague Marines go faster, the Poxwalkers advance faster, etc. And he would give 5+ invul to the Plague Marines. But now I never use him, so he just moves back here in the back line. Then of course some of the best Virion right now, I think the Taliman with the Tollkeeper relic, exploding 6s +1 to hit, gives you extra command points, almost auto include. Really like the model as well. I really like that his main contribution is to make the Excel of the time there. And then Foul Blightspawn, such a good ability, such a good model. He can really win you the game against melee type of opponents that come for you, like orcs and blood angels and space wolves and white scars, etc. Whatever. Drukhari. If we can fight first, our Plague Marines, our Terminators, our characters, they can really do a lot. If the opponent strikes first, they can clear out a lot of our units, but now with Foul Blightspawn, he can really be a game changer, so really a strong model. The Biologus Beautifier, cool looking model. Don't use him so much. I think he's better used with the Plague Marines now. As I said, Plague Marines not super competitive, but it would be nice to try the combo where, for example, Foul Blightspawn and the Biologus accompanies melee Plague Marines in a Rhino or something like that, or a Terrax drill that I don't have. And that could be fun with the grenade, strong grenades and mortal wounds in melee. Plague Surgeon, not super useful. It would be cool if you could revive something like Thousand Suns and Space Marines can do, make some revives, but we can't do that in Death Card. Then if we look at the Terminators, the Death Shroud Terminators, I think they are so cool looking models. My favorite Terminators, and I don't know how to put this, but they look very sharp. They have such a they are so strong in melee. They can cut through anything like a hot knife through butter. Really sharp, really strong profile, strong and yeah, much better now in 9th. They move faster. Before they were good to protect Mortarion. Now they are just super good overall here. So really strong. I have two units of 3 Death Shroud, considering to get a bit more. it's yeah, they can be a bit tricky to place when you deep strike. If you put them too far out of the action, they could miss the action. They are not super fast if they miss their charge, but they can come in and plug holes. They can also be there from the beginning to take a charge, and with Foul Blight Spawn they fight first, clear stuff up. So as I said, really strong. And now coming to the other Terminators, a bit maybe a bit controversial here, but I don't like Blight Lords so much. As I said, the Death Shroud feels sharp to me. In contrast, the Blight Lords they feel blunt. They don't do so much damage. They're a bit bloated, and maybe that's so negative in Nurgles' point of view. But they don't. Some of the models look like a bloated insect. I don't like that model. The Flail guy, of course, looks cool, but he can do the same damage as the Plague Marine Flail guy for almost half the points, but for less points. Of course, Blight Lords, the most durable Terminator we have, but I don't enjoy playing them. Maybe I don't play them super correctly, but they don't do so much damage. I like stuff that can do a lot of damage, like Plague Marines with special weapons. The Combi Bolters don't do so much. AP 0, Strength 4, nothing to write home about. Reaper Autocannon actually quite good, also especially versus Wound 1 models. I have more Blight Lords. Here is one painted group of 5. I have 10 Blight Lords I haven't painted yet, but I'll probably try to paint them and then try to play Big Blob and just go for the survivability of them and just holding stuff instead of damaging stuff. So that's basically the Terminators. As I said, 15 Blight Lords in total, and then the latest addition, the Contemptors with Volkites, magnetized the weapons. I painted one of the Contemptors with the 30k, the white. I kind of like that, but I painted one more classical style. Also like that one, and I used some bits from the Chaos Spawn package to nullify him, so really good. And with a Tollkeeper relic, exploding 6s re-rolling, +1 to hit, they can do so much mortal wounds, and they can really help us stay competitive and contest tournaments with the Contemptors Volkites. Let's see what will happen. If they will get a point hike, or the weapons, maybe some other weapons become relevant for the Contemptors, but they're so strong now with the core keyword in the elites. That's basically the elite choices here. And then if we go to the fast attack, I kind of like the 30 blow drone. I have quite a lot of those. I have 3 with the speeders. Really cool looking models, can fly and add some speed to Death Guard. The speeders are quite not so bad actually. I mean, the mower is really strong against Marines, 2 wound models. The speeders could be quite fun to use against the 1 wood armies, like a lot of Skitari or orcs or something like that. And again, because they were part of the starting boxes, there was plenty of speeders to go around. I see a lot of people modify them with the mower. I also have a 30 blow drone with the mower, really cool looking. I mean, so strong against especially Marines. And the heavy Blight Launcher also quite decent to use. So one of each of those, but so I can on the fast attack I can combine speeders and mower or something like that. Maybe I consider should get maybe one more with a mower. I also Mortarion. I also got one of the greater Blight drones. Just painted it. Haven't played with it yet, but the 14-inch move, spreading contagions and some cool weaponry. Quite fun to use. They are not expensive in the game in points, but they are expensive in real life. But it was fun to do this model as well. Also, just added also a couple of Chaos Spawn. Not maybe the best looking Chaos Spawn, but I like the box that it gave you a lot of extra bits that you can make it quite Nurgly, and you can modify it, convert some of the other stuff. But for 23 points you can hold an objective. If you have a group of 5, they can really do a lot in melee, can do a real lot of damage. A lot of people target them. They add some speed also, 7-inch. It's not so bad compared, let's say, to Poxwalkers to go to some objectives and keep them. So it could be fun to get a couple of more. But it would be nice if they had some better looking Chaos Spawn models, more dedicated. For example, a Death Guard Chaos Spawn, or a more Nurgle Chaos Spawn, or a more, let's say, Thousand Suns Chaos Spawn, etc. And then finally, in fast attack, we have the Mephitic Blight Holders. I have 2 painted. When I realized that you need to have 3 in 8, so that they could hit on 3 pluses. Now that they of course all hit on 3 pluses. I bought a third one. I haven't assembled and painted yet. I'll probably do that. Now I think the optimal unit size is 2, where you can use the stratagems to get less damage. They can do quite a lot of damage into vehicles with a multi-melta, the missiles. I cannot prefer the Plague Scrollers. We'll get back to that. So I haven't been using the Mephitic Blight Holders as much. I haven't used the 3x3 that a lot of people were using in the previous edition, but they are good. Before, I liked that they could give cover to the infantry. Now they don't have that rule anymore. But again, the multi-meltas can do severe damage. So I'll probably paint the third and try to use them a bit more, but I think it would be nice if they could come down from 140 points. Then in the heavy support, my favorite unit, probably the best tank, the best unit for Death Guard, and in the game I really like the Plague Scroller. Such a cool looking model. And of course, if you play an army, I would like to have like some infantry, I like to have some monsters, I like to have something that fly, and then I need a tank or a heavy weapon. I kind of like that mixing of things. The entropy cannons, such a strong weapon against the vehicles. The mortar can shoot out of line of sight, really strong, especially with people hiding. A lot of their eradicators or heavy threats somewhere. You can still do something. If you get first turn, the opponent is quite well hidden, you can still do something with the mortars. It feels quite nice that they can't just hide forever and just give you hive guards. For example, now Leviathan have guards. If you get first turn, you can start blasting them with a mortar. As I said, cool looking model. Really enjoy using them. Magnetized also one to have the speeders. The speeders could be interesting as an assault tank. You can still use the mortar, no minimum range, and the plague speeders like the Blowtron could be interesting against these armies that don't have that have a lot of one wound models that are quite dangerous, like the Skitari. Plague Scrollers, 3 of them. Normally minimum using 2 in every game, sometimes 3. Before I was always using 3. Now I can mix them a bit with the Contemptors, Blowdrones, etc. And then I have a couple of Hellbrutes. They are of course in the elite slot. They are not painted as the other ones. The Hellbrutes have core and they can do some things, but they are not. They don't survive. I seldom use them, so I'm just thinking if I should just put them into the Thousand Suns collection to paint them like a changer of ways to change them so they can get the invul. But let's see. I think in the from heavy shooting, etc., we are well covered with the Plague Scrollers, the Mephitic Blight Holders, and the Contemptors, of course. And then a Chaos Rhino for transport. I like this Chaos Rhino with the spikes and the Nurgly thing. I try to modify the gunner, let's say. So my kids looked here and said, how can the Plague Marines fit in here? But I'm not using it so much, the Rhino, because as I said, the Plague Marines are not so competitive right now. But cool to have. I have a couple of more Rhinos and Predator tanks that I could paint and make Chaos and Nurglify, but I don't think Death Guard needs these older tanks. The Rhino of course could help. A Terrax drill could be interesting, but they are also quite expensive and can be difficult to find a spot to deep strike. And then as a fortification, actually this is one of the models, the Miasmic Malignifier. This is one of the models that I really enjoyed it painting, to make the base, to make the whole thing. I think it really looks cool. I've used it in a game where you can see actually a battle report where I could place it. I think it would be fun if you could use it and you can agree that you have room to find room for it. If you can't find room for it, it's just a waste of points. But I could place it somewhere in the middle. It's spreading the contagions. I use Cloud of Lies on a big group of Plague Marines. The opponent has to shoot, and then the characters are of course protected by the Plague Marines. The opponent was forced to shoot a lot of inefficient shooting on the Toughness 8 Miasmic Malignant Fire. The Plague Marines had cover, and then the Plague Marines can, and the rest of the Death Guard can really take the fight to the opponent on the next turn, having been protected by the Magnifier. So really a nice looking model, one of the models I mostly enjoyed painting and had fun, but I've only used it in one battle. Probably I'm thinking I was happy to paint this because it has big details, so maybe if I'm not super artistic, then this is probably good to use. So basically there you have it. That's my 5,700 points of painted Death Guard. As I said, I have more Plague Marines, I have more other Hellbrutes, etc. If I would consider to add something to my collection, as I said, maybe a Lord of Irelands, then I have basically everything in the HQ, but I don't really see the need for him the way I'm playing it. I would consider adding maybe some more Chaos Spawn, and it could be interesting maybe to get a Defiler to try that out. It's more a mixed type of unit compared to the Plague Destroyer, a bit melee, a bit shooting, quite some good shooting. Could be interesting to try a Defiler, maybe a Terrestrial, as I said. Yeah, a bit more Chaos Spawn. Otherwise, I feel there's a bit more Death Shroud, but otherwise I think I have here what I need to build a lot of different lists, both competitive and casual, crusade lists, etc. So this concludes the video. If you like this video, please press like and subscribe to my channel, helping it grow. I'm really happy for your subscriptions and your support. Helping the channel started around September last year, where I have more than 4,000 followers now, so very big thanks to all of you, and of course a very big special thanks to all my patrons. Thank you guys for making it possible for me to continue doing these videos, and I really appreciate the discussions I'm having with you, discussing your lists and ideas for the video. If you have some other ideas for the videos, please let me know in the comments. I'll probably put a description in the description. I'll probably put down a table with my collection, so you can see what I have, if you want to get some inspiration there. And with these words, GeneralJannis is signing out. Stay safe out there, and bye bye.